name's Mike Black. I'm the Sales Director here at CWJobs. I'd just like to thank you all for attending our 6th annual breakfast briefing. These events are a chance for us to explore the biggest new trends in IT, recruitment, and equip you with all the information you need to identify the right candidates with the right skills.
So here to provide us with an overview of what open source is and why it really matters to business, please give a very warm welcome to Mark Taylor.
Because of the emphasis on encouraging distribution, open source software enables massive collaboration. If you're a proprietary software company restricting your source code, the people who work on it is your team of engineers. If you're working with open source code, the people who can work on it, look at it, contribute it, it is literally anyone. Once you have written the software, how much does it cost to produce the next version? Once it's been written, and we're leaving aside why it would be written, right? How much does it cost to copy a piece of software? Truly, a fraction of a penny, right? This has got serious problems for some organisations. This is exactly the problem for, and I'm not commenting on the politics or the morality or anything like that. I'm pointing out a fact, yeah? So it's a problem for the music industry and the film industry if you can copy software, bang, 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 just like that. So there are a variety of business models around open source that people use. And they range from the completely, this software is free, to the completely, we're using open source software, but it's proprietary, it's ours now. Or we'll embed it in a service and sell that service to you. Anyone hazard to guess one of the biggest open source case studies on the planet, one of the biggest users of open source software that drives its business? How about Google? The advantages for a person who uses it are primarily economic. How do you know if an open source project is going to be good? You can't actually tell in advance, but there are some indicators. One of the things which is fairly clear about it is projects which end up with a lot of users, have a lot of network effects. It's no accident that open source grew up on the internet, and the internet is built from it because it's huge networking effects. The underlying infrastructure of the internet is almost all open source, the underlying DNS systems.
So here to talk about how the current and future trends in open source will impact the recruitment of IT professionals, amongst many other things, please give a very warm welcome to Rob Allen.
So open source, again, I'm not going to labour on too many of the points, but transparency of process, distributed peer review, more flexibility, better quality and lower cost, right? CTO's dream. Once the CTO's got their head round moving towards open source, once they've got their head around that challenge, the idea of getting away from the brand, or once they're explained, or once it's clear to them on how easy it is, the steps you can take to kind of get thinking an open source way and then slowly moving towards open source, then you've cracked it, right? The open source is no longer this sandals, hat vibe of Bermuda shorts and shirt and just not very cool. It's actually an absolute intrinsic piece of modern day life, modern day technology. We are built on the open source values, and that's collaboration, it's partnership, it's transparency. So when people are coming through the door, or when we're really assessing them and selecting them, we're thinking about competencies, and we're thinking about how they fit into that world. Okay, so something from what I think that you guys will start to see, and I'll be interested if you guys recruit for kind of open source organizations, it's how much they're focusing on that piece. How much are they focusing on, do they fit into the culture? Do they fit into the open source way of thinking, way of being? Because that is what clients value and starting to value more and more. Open source is only going to keep growing and keep pushing the growth of our industry. As I say our industry, I mean recruitment. And you guys are at an awesome point where you can be part of that, because it's all very, very junior right now, right?
Yeah, I think it was great. It's given a real sort of demonstration of what open source can do within the market.
I found it really informative, really useful. Didn't expect it to be as informative as it was. I think, you know, we've learned a lot about the open source community, a lot about, you know, what the technology is doing as well. I think also what was interesting from Rob as well, Rob Allen, was about the, you know, the engagement, the contributors to the communities from a recruitment point of view as well. And it demonstrates, you know, if you want to be successful as a recruiter in that market, then, you know, you need to be engaged.
Yeah, I use CWJobs regularly. Obviously, it's one of our main things to go for. Enjoy it. I think that things like today are brilliant because it shows going that extra bit, and kind of, you know, it's something extra that you're doing on top that not other job boards would necessarily do.
I mean, in terms of all the online job boards, we have the most success from CWJobs, and I mean, I would say in terms of volume of strong open source candidates coming through, yeah, they're definitely at the top.